Am I wrong for grounding my 15-year-old daughter after she colored her hair? As a disclaimer, I have nothing against colored hair or people who choose to color their hair. My hair was bright green as a teenager. My daughter Alexis, not her real name, is 15. She has been dancing recreationally since she was 3 years old and has been competing in dance since she was 9. This year, she has Nationals coming up, which is the highlight of her dance season. Nationals is a very big deal. It's held at a major convention center in the city, with studios from multiple states coming to compete. It's not just about performing, it's also an opportunity for workshops with professional choreographers, networking, and gaining recognition in the dance community. Alexis is also obsessed with Paramore, thanks to my husband, who's a longtime fan and has taken her to several of their shows. She idolizes Hayley Williams and has been begging to dye her hair bright orange, like Hayley's, for the past couple of years. I don't have any issue with colored hair. I had my fair share of wild colors as a teenager, but I've been clear with Alexis that while she's competing in dance, there are certain rules she has to follow. One of those rules is no unnatural hair colors during competitions. This isn't a personal rule of mine, it's a standard in the competitive dance world. The judges expect dancers to present a uniform and cohesive appearance, and unnatural hair colors are often penalized or even prohibited. When Alexis brought up the idea of dyeing her hair for her birthday, I told her no, but I also gave her an alternative. I promised that once Nationals and the required conventions for the season were over, she could dye her hair any color she wanted. She wasn't happy with this answer and argued that it was just hair dye, but she eventually stormed off to her room. I figured that was the end of it and she would move on, especially since she's always been excited about competing. Fast forward to about a week ago. Alexis went to a sleepover at her friend's house, and when she came home, my jaw hit the floor. She walked into the kitchen with her hair fully dyed neon orange. I nearly dropped the knife I was using to cook dinner. My initial reaction was shock, and I asked her, "What on earth were you thinking?" She shrugged and gave me a flippant excuse, something about how it would wash out in time and how her friends told her it wasn't a big deal. At that point I lost my cool. I raised my voice, which I know I shouldn't have, and Alexis ran off to her room crying. I was frustrated and confused. She's not a little kid, she knows the rules, understands how important this competition is, and was fully aware that unnatural hair colors are not allowed. She even enthusiastically told me she wanted to do Nationals when I asked her before paying the $400 in fees. Since then it's been a mess. Alexis has tried washing her hair multiple times, but the orange isn't coming out. I bought color remover and let it sit for 2 hours, but it barely made a dent. Now I'm looking at a $300 plus salon bill to fix it, all because she made a reckless decision. To make matters worse, if the orange doesn't come out in time, she won't be allowed to compete, and I'll have wasted over $400. I grounded her for going behind my back, not just because of the hair but because of the blatant disregard for the rules she agreed to. My husband thinks I'm overreacting and called me Mumzilla. He says it's just hair and not worth the fight. But to me, it's not about the hair, it's about the principle. She knowingly broke the rules of a competition she chose to participate in, and her actions could jeopardize something we've both invested a lot of time and money into. Alexis has barely spoken to me since. She claims I'm being unreasonable and ruining her life because she wanted to express herself. I get that she's 15 and going through that stage of wanting to rebel, but I feel like I gave her a fair compromise by letting her dye her hair after the season. Now, I'm stuck between feeling guilty for yelling and standing firm on what I see as a teachable moment about consequences and commitments. Ida?